It's gonna be a wonderful day today. We got Brazil versus Morocco. It's gonna be a good day today. Here's Casemiro smiling, ready for the challenge. We have Gabriel. Everybody's ready. I'm rooting for Brazil today, and I'm gonna tell you the reason why. Morocco did something that I don't really support, and they have tournament. And because of that, I'm gonna support Brazil today. There's nothing bad about that. Rafinha, everybody looks ready to go. Akimi, everybody's ready. We'll see what happens. But still believe that Brazil will wipe the floor with them today. That's my belief. That's what I believe. We've been waiting for this for a long time. Brazil have got to show the world that they still matter when it comes to soccer. Over the past few years, we've seen a decline in how they've played in tournaments like this. I think it's time for them to level up and try and make sure that they show us that they can still play. And I believe they can still play. Brazil, Morocco. It's going to start in 4 minutes time. This is the first match of Brazil. And I think it's going to be interesting. Brazil is going with 4-2-3-1 right now. And Morocco is going with 4-2-3-1 as well. So both of them are using the same formation, but you have to remember something I said. The starting formation doesn't really matter in soccer because immediately the ball starts moving back and forth, then you're going to have different in and out of possession formation. You're going to have to. So we'll see what happens. But both of them are using 4-2-3-1 right now. And we'll see. We'll see what happens. Brazil, Morocco. 4-2-3-1, both of them. It's going to be interesting. We'll see what happens. This is a full packed stadium. Everybody is roaring to go. Everybody is willing to go now. The game is about to begin. Vinicius Jr. This guy is all ready to go. Give me a rest. These guys they're looking serious. They're not smiling. Oh, here's my man here. My United player, Hakimi. Casemiro. When Casemiro when he announced that he was going to leave my United this season, I was not happy because he's my kind of player. I like players who are humble. I like players who never cause trouble in the dressing room, and Casemiro is one of those players. So when Casemiro said he was going to leave, it was kind of sad. Not just because of that, but also because he was really playing good at that time. He was playing good, even though I admit that when Casemiro first came, he was kind of, his performances was not really that impressive. So lots of my United fans were thinking that we should probably have not bought Casemiro and we should probably sell it. But all of a sudden, his performances started improving. And nobody really wanted him to go. But now he's gone. That's okay. So this Brazil team, I can see, is really very impressive. You have Marquinhos, good players. And here is Ronaldo, the Brazilian Ronaldo. Ancelotti. Carlo Ancelotti. One thing that I think Brazil have to be very careful about today is they have to be very careful about Achraf Hakimi. I don't really see Morocco giving them problems in this game, even though I think there was a friendly match between Brazil and Morocco. And I think Morocco won 2-1. So you will think that that today is going to be a repeat of that. I don't think so. I think Brazil is going to win, and it's not going to be close. I may be wrong, but we'll see. And here we have the national anthem of Morocco. I tell you what, and still, each time I see or I remember something about Morocco, all I remember is what happened in the AFCON. I don't like it. They were, they were taking the towers of the keepers. It was sad. I wasn't impressed. One thing that I think Morocco is going to do today is they're going to do counterattack. They're going to counterattack. That's what I believe they're going to do. Counterattack. They're going to be very solid at the back. I wouldn't be surprised if their defensive formation today is 4-5-1 or 5-4-1. I also do believe that Brazil is going to play on a counterattack, especially because of Carlo Ancelotti. Ancelotti is not a manager that is, he's not one of those fancy managers who likes to play one-touch football. No. All Ancelotti is all about, all he wants to do is put the ball in the back of the net. Ancelotti, from what I've known from him over the past years, he doesn't really care about how many passes you have. He doesn't care about how you make the pass. He doesn't care the runs you make, really, or how you make those runs. As long as you make those runs and you score a goal, that's all that matters. Score a goal, that's all that matters. So I do believe, based on that, Brazil today are just going to be very direct. So this game is not going to be tactical. No, it's going to be a very direct game, and it's going to be a very physical game. I can already see the Brentford guy is a tough man. He's going to fight in the box. When I say fight, I'm not saying you know, fight in terms of being malicious. No, it's going to fight for the ball. It's going to go for the header. It's going to do everything possible to win. And those are the players that I think we deserve to watch in this tournament. Players that are willing to fight for the ball and do everything possible to give us a good experience. That's what we're looking for. So you have the officiating staffs. These are the VAR referees. Now we're getting ready to go. We're getting ready to go. Then you have Ibanez, Bruno Guimaraes, Casemiro, Vinicius Junior, Lucas Paqueta, Rafinha, Igor Thiago. And you see 4-2-3-1. Casemiro and Bruno Guimaraes. They're the ones who are going to be playing in the defensive midfield. And then you have Morocco 4-2-3-1. Mazraoui, you have Issa Diop, Akraf Hakimi, you have Anoy, Ayub Boudi, you have Azedine Onahi, and you have Brahim Diaz, and Ismail Sabari, 4-3-1. It's going to be an interesting game today. I'm looking forward as well to Brahim Diaz. Well, I believe Brazil is going to be too strong for them today. And by the way, this Brazil team, I don't really think they're going to go far in this tournament. I may be wrong. I may be wrong. It's going to be a game of direct football or direct soccer. You know, there's been lots of controversies and disagreement between the right pronunciation. Is it soccer? Is it football? Well, we in North America, we call it soccer. And I know generally, if you talk about how most people in the world, how they see it, what they call it, then you can say football. Well, in North America, it's soccer. Here we go. Okay. Morocco is definitely trying to play one-touch football, lots of energy. I do think it's too early to judge. You can't judge in the first few seconds of the game. Well, from where I can see, Morocco is trying everything possible to be very energetic, while Brazil is trying to be calm, control the game. They're trying to stick to their tactics. That's a foul on Brahim Diaz. That's a good turn from Brahim Diaz. Yeah, that's not a good tackle. That looks malicious. Uh, Here we go. Hmm. There's an opportunity for a cross. But it was not allowed in. That's right. Morocco is definitely trying to control the ball. You see, from what I can see now, Brazil out of possession, they're lining up in 4-3-3. So when Brazil loses the ball, the shape is 4-3-3. I remember said that the start information means nothing. Now, once Brazil loses the ball, they go to 4-3-3. It's Ibanez, Pablo Ibanez. Right now, the game is still pretty even. Once the game goes on, we'll see who is doing everything possible to win the game. I'm gonna update the stats pretty soon. I'm just waiting for the game to get to, you know, first few minutes, probably the 15th minute, and then I'm gonna update the stats. So you can see exactly what's going on, what we have. Pakata. That's a good one from Amrabat. Sofia Amrabat was another player that wasn't really happy when he left Man United. When Ten Hag brought Sofia Amrabat from, where did he even come from? Fiorentina. I was happy. And obviously, he saw those dreams, especially with the tackle he gave to Kylian Mbappe. Everybody was waiting for him because at that time, we needed someone who was pretty strong, someone who could control, who could, be a defensive rock for United. Unfortunately, part of me still feels that my United should have let him continue a little bit more. I think he he wasn't able to renew his contract because the the club already probably gave up on Ten Hag. So yeah, Ten Hag wasn't going to stay for long anyway. I'm one of those people who believe Ten Hag should have been given more time. I was a big Ten Hag fan, and I was a big Ten Hag fan. Unfortunately, things didn't work out. Blocked shots. Oh, that was close from Akimi. That was close from Akimi. That was close from Akimi. Wow. Morocco is not playing around here. No, they're not. They're willing to go to the trenches with Brazil in this game. And I like that. They're not trying to lose. No. And you can see Morocco's controlling the middle of the pack now. They're controlling the midfield, which is interesting. When you have Bruno Guimaraes, you have Casemiro in the midfield. You would expect that those two guys are going to control the game, you know, because when everything is said and done, when it comes to soccer, the midfield battle is everything. The midfield battle is everything. So, Amrabat, good interception. Morocco is getting closer to the. Wow, this is interesting. There's a good shot blocked by Gabriel. It's been an interesting game so far. Morocco has shown that they're not a pushover in this game. Oh, you lost the ball. And you go Morocco. You go. That's a good interception. Now you have the Casemiro. Morocco certainly are trying to put a prayer on Brazil from the start. Lucas Paqueta. Lucas Paqueta, you know, went through a little bit of a tough season in the Premier League this last season. He was obviously having issues with the FA when it comes to an allegation about sport betting. We don't know if that is true or not. The case is probably still under investigation. So hopefully there is no foul play by anybody. Morocco, one touch football. Morocco is certainly playing with three backs, three center backs, even though uh, what I can see, Mazraoui joins the two center backs to, try and progress the ball to the midfield. And he is even playing high up the pitch now. That's a foul on Bruno Guimaraes. This player looks like one of former player that I know. So you can tell from the possession start that Morocco is way high up. Morocco certainly has lacked possession of the ball than Brazil. It's a good one. one attempt from Brazil so far in the game. But I'm not worried about that because all that matters is the ball in the back of the net. If you like, you can have 50 attempts on goal. If you can't score, doesn't matter. Brazil just probably needs one good, solid opportunity. Vinicius Jr. That's a good one. It's going to be interesting to see the battle, the kind of competition between Vinicius Jr. and Achraf Hakimi, because both of them kind of have an attribute. They have the same attribute, in fact. When it comes to speed, Vinicius Jr. is very fast, and Achraf Hakimi as well is very fast. So we're going to see who comes on top. So you can see the patterns of build-up by these teams. Okay. Two center backs. Brazil builds up with two center backs. 2-4-1-3. Brazil is trying to use as much player as possible to progress the ball from the back, from the defense. They're trying to create a numerical advantage in the first phase of the game. And if you can do that, you can successfully progress the ball from the back. But the problem is, if you are able to progress the ball from the back, then you'll have few options high up the pitch. The only way that's going to work is if the opponent presses you and they commit too much players to the press, and you're able to somehow bypass the press, then you have few players of the opposition in their own half. And then you have chances of converting that to a goal. Vinicius Jr. Oh, he got Thiago. You know, that's exactly what I expect from him. The kind of guy that Higo Thiago is a very strong guy. He was the one who replaced Ivan Toney in Brentford. When Ivan Toney went to the Saudi League, Higo Thiago was the one who replaced him. And it's been so good ever since he replaced him. So I expect a lot of power play from Higo Thiago today. Brazil. Casemiro. Casemiro. Oh, that's Gimiriash. Brazil certainly now, Brazil is getting into the game. They're getting better. They're trying to control the ball more. So this is what Brazil is doing. They're sticking with their build-up structure. Two center backs, and then depending on where the ball goes to, if the ball goes to the left side of the pitch, then you have the left center. Then you have the left back join the center back to progress the ball line up. And if the ball goes to the right side of the pitch, then you have the right back join the two center backs to progress the ball high up the pitch, which is good. Now, Brazil, from what I can see, they're trying to be very patient. And Morocco is trying to sit deep. So Brazil is trying to bait them out from their mid block and push them deep down into their territory. As a chance for okay, that was a chance for Higo Thiago, but unfortunately, that did not materialize. Akata. Casemiro. I wonder where Casemiro is going to go to after this. Uh, After this tournament, is he going to go to Saudi League? We still don't know. That's where we. One thing I like about Mazraoui is a very disciplined player and a very committed player. He'll give everything on the pitch. Oh, Junior. Oh, no. Good interception there. Vinicius Junior was about to get clean on goal. It was a good connection of passes between Rafinha and Vinicius Junior. If not for Akraf Hakimi, the ball would have been at the back of the net. So Brazil has a corner now. This is probably the first corner of the game. Vinicius, you have. So you can see now Morocco, they're trying to play sort of a mid block. They're not trying to press too much. And Brazil is trying to beat them. Brazil is trying to, you know, tempt them to come and press. You can see Brazil again beating up with two center backs. Gabriel, Marquinhos. It's a good ball. That was a good interception by Mazraoui. Oh no. Oh no, Morocco is through and goal. Oh no, that's a goal. That's a goal. Wow. That's a goal. That's a goal. Extraordinary. Extraordinary. Wow. 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 How did that happen though? I don't know how that happened. I still don't know how Brazil allowed that to happen. I'm just trying to fix the. I'm still kind of new to this streaming stuff, so I'm trying to update the score line. You know, we're obviously still a break right now. Well, I didn't expect that to be a goal. Brazil pressed high. I'm sorry, Brazil kind of, you know, they 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 refused to be alert. That's the only way I can describe it. They refused to be alert. This kind of game, you can't afford to behave like that. And afford to behave like that. But unfortunately, that's what happened. And they lost the game. They lost the ball, sorry. That was a risky game. When you that was similar to what happened to um, the people yesterday, especially sorry, South Africa. South Africa lost the ball. It was kind of fun. At this game, at this level, you expect people to have known the game a little bit more than this. Unfortunately, that's not what happened. That's not what happened. No, we still have the chance, though. The game only began. The still lots of still lots of opportunity to to make to make things work. That was close again. That was close again. What exactly is going on with Brazil today? This seems as if Brazil is not awake yet. Wow. Brazil is still sleeping. Feels that way. And now Morocco again. We have to do something pretty quickly. I'm not going to give up hope on Brazil yet. Still think they're going to win. But we'll see what happens. Certainly was not a good look the way they played. It's not a good look. Sorry, I'm still trying to figure out all these old streaming stuff. So I'm landing on the go. But I'm sure that we'll get to it. We'll keep learning. Learning on the go. It's interesting how Brazil just allowed that ball. And Morocco is still standing their ground as well. At this level of the game, you would expect something much, much better than that. Wow. Morocco is certainly controlling the game here. Wow. Brazil looks like Brazil has switched off how they defend. We're in the 30th minute. And it's still Brazil's 0, Morocco 1. Vinicius Jr. Oh my word. Oh my word. That is extraordinary. That is extraordinary. That is a goal from Vinicius Jr. That is extraordinary. Oh my word. Wow. What a goal. What a goal from Vinicius Jr. Wow. Wow. That's wonderful. I mean, you can't defend that kind of goal. You can't defend it. The only problem that I think Morocco caused for themselves is they allowed Vinicius Jr. to enter the box. You can't let players like Vinicius Jr. enter your box. You can get punished for it. It's 1-1. Brazil 1, Morocco 1. I'll tell you what, extraordinary goal from Vinicius Jr. Good, good, good goal from Vinicius Jr. Wow. That was extraordinary. And now things are changing. Things are changing. Things are changing here. Wow. It's a good goal. You know, they the game has certainly changed. Then you have the throw in by Brazil. That's a yellow card. Vinicius Jr. This guy has been very active in this game. Wow, that was a good goal. That was a good goal. That was a good goal. Extraordinary. Now, Morocco is trying to move with the ball as well. Vinicius Jr. Oh, that was intercepted. Vinicius Jr. is one of those players that I really, like to watch play. Those kinds of player, they sort of simplify the game. They don't make it complicated. No, they don't make the game complicated at all. They make the game easier to watch. Vinicius Jr. is one of those players who do that. I remember when Manchester City and Real Madrid, when they were at the peak of playing each other, especially at least when Guardiola was the coach of Man City, there was this constant battle between Vinicius Jr., you know, and Kai Walker. Just exactly is what we have here today between Vinicius Jr. and Achraf Hakimi. Now, why are these two set of players? Why are these two relationships? Why am I saying they look the same? The reason is because Achraf Hakimi is a very fast player. Vinicius Jr. is a very fast player. And also, during the days of Guardiola in Manchester City, when Real Madrid was playing them in the Champions League almost every season, Kai Walker was always in battle with Vinicius Jr. Kyle Walker is a fast player as well. That's why every time they wanted to play each other, I was always looking forward to how who's gonna win, who can run faster. Lucas Paqueta, a very good player. He plays for West Ham, and we know West Ham right now is relegated from the Premier League. Who would have thought that West Ham was going to get relegated from the Premier League? Not many people. But West Ham was relegated. Incredible. Well, obviously, when people get relegated that way, there's an opportunity for them to go back to the drawing board and see what happened. It was kind of surprising because they got a new coach and a good coach. So I don't understand how they got relegated. The coach they got was the former coach of Nottingham Forest. he had kind of like a disagreement or a fight with the owner of Nottingham Forest. And that's the reason why he was sacked, or maybe he left, and he was employed by West Ham. There was a time he went to the Saudi League first, and then he came back to the Premier League. And unfortunately, he was employed by West Ham, and West Ham is relegated now, which is so sad. Who would have thought so? Obviously, we don't like to see teams getting relegated, but when it happens, it happens. Can't really do too much about it. Morocco doing everything possible. Rafinha on the floor now. Rafinha is one of those players too that surprised me. You know, when he left, I think he was played in Leeds United in England. When he left, it went from Leeds to Barcelona. That was shocking to me. I was thinking that how can a player leave kind of like a small team in England and go to the biggest team or second biggest team in Spain? That was quite interesting to me. Well, good news. He's doing well in Barcelona right now. It's probably one of their best players. That just tells you that nothing is impossible in soccer. And you should never think too low about anybody. Certainly not any player. You never know tomorrow. And that story of Rafinha is probably similar to the story of Anthony Gordon of Newcastle. Now Anthony Gordon is in Barcelona. He went from Newcastle to Barcelona. It was surprising to me. Newcastle is not a bad team, but Newcastle is not a big team. I'm sorry. We the lads. I'm sorry. I have to say the truth. The Toons are not a big team. I'm a Man United fan, so I'm going to tell you the truth. The Toons are not a big team. You sorry they don't like me for that anyway. Sorry about that. Still 1-1. You have 3 minutes out of time, and it's almost over. It's almost over. Brazil has come back stronger in the second half of the first half. Nico Thiago, Brian Diaz intercepted. Casemiro. If Brazil can make this count, it's going to be so fun. Vinicius Jr., that's not a foul. And that's a foul. Paqueta. This guy is a good player, Vinicius Jr., but he gets so much hate, I believe. Wow. It's not going to break the leg of Akini with that. Gimme. That's a risky game. You don't want to keep playing in front of your keeper. And there goes the first half. So I was talking to you. You don't want to keep playing in front of your keeper. Because if you do that, you're inviting the opponent to come and get the ball and attack you. And if that happens, it's a goal. If you can play like Barcelona and like Manchester City, don't try to do it. Don't try to play out from the back. I remember when Guardiola was at the peak of his reign in the Premier League. Almost every manager wanted to play like him. And so the teams that were used to playing direct football with direct soccer, because of Guardiola, they wanted to play possession football. And because of that, they will, and the way Guardiola plays is it builds up from the back. And lots of teams were trying to do that. They didn't have players who could do that, but they tried to do it anyway. And teams who know how to press them, got the ball, and scored goals. And that's probably what Brazil was trying to do there. That was what South Africa did and made them concede the goal. That was what Paraguay did yesterday that gave the US one of the goals they scored. Do not play out from the back if you don't have players who could do it. Don't try to do it. You don't have, not every team is going to be like Barcelona or, Manchester City. It's good to be like Real Madrid. Real Madrid don't care how you play as long as they win. That's all that matters. We don't give trophies for how you play. We give trophies to who won the tournament, who won the game. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. This game is still very up for taking. You can't really say who's going to win at this point because, well, Brazil certainly has the momentum. When you come back from losing position, there's a chance that you're going to win the game. I think that might be the case that we have here. Well, it's interesting because when you look at this tournament is interesting. I think this is the first time that you have this much team playing in the World Cup. There's just been so much changes to the game of soccer. So much changes. And when you make changes to things too much, it just becomes boring. You don't want the game to be like that. I would prefer that we leave the game the way it was in the 2000s and the 90s. Some of you who've been born in the 90s, you can remember players like Ronaldinho. Ronaldinho is my idol when it comes to soccer. I remember then I liked to play like him, even though I didn't have his ability. I remember in those days, if we want to watch the Champions League, it was received, you know, it was a very, we were always looking forward to it. It was something to look forward to because we know, especially when those big teams are playing, you're going to get a good time. You're going to have a good time. But these days, the game is too strict about rules and regulations, about tactics. And I know who to blame for that, but I won't say the person's name. What I would love to see going forward is if coaches allow those players to express themselves on the field. Don't put too much rules and regulations for them to obey. If you're telling the player not to go beyond this spot on the pitch, you're limiting the ability of that player. If you're telling the player not to dribble at this particular part of the pitch, you're limiting the ability of that player. Let those players play with freedom. Let them express themselves. I think that's the reason why the game has become so robotic. Because if the coach tells you to do something and you refuse to do it, you're not playing the next game. So the game has become too robotic. That's not good. I would like to see the players allowed to express themselves in a good way. That's the only way we can have the kind of experience we had earlier on watching soccer. You see lots of people having a good time in this World Cup. America, it's our time to host the World Cup. I certainly hope that the world enjoys their time here in America. I've been hearing lots of complaints, but I'm going to keep it to myself first. I just hope people have good time. That's all that matters now. The first game was in Mexico. The second game was in Canada. I think the third game was in the States. I may be wrong, but that's what I think happened. So I'm looking forward to having a good time at this World Cup. Brazil won. Morocco won. Morocco, in the last World Cup, they almost proved people wrong about African football, African soccer. I remember, I think it was Portugal who defeated Morocco in the last World Cup in the quarterfinals. I think was it quarterfinals or semifinals. So they came close. And when you come close, that close, that gives you confidence that you can do better the next time. Probably that's why, you know, that might be the reason why they'll play well. They've been playing well so far in this game because they can remember that they've done it before. So now the fear of the big stage is no longer there. They have experience in playing the World Cup. I'm starting waiting for the second half to come. And then you have the second. This is they're showing the goals now. Now that wow. The goal that Morocco's called, Brazil should never allow that kind of goal. It was called in the first place. No team should. I think I never expected Brazil when Morocco was called that goal, it sort of felt as if Brazil would play high defensive line. And that is the last thing I expect from a team coached by Carlo Ancelotti. Carlo Ancelotti is not a coach that tells his players to play high defensive line. So it's kind of surprised. Look at them. Look at them. That is high line. That's almost oh my. And you know what? Wow. That was a direct ball from yeah. Yeah. There's nothing much the keeper can do. There's nothing much Anderson, the Liverpool keeper can do because he has to come out. When a player is one on one on goal, you as a keeper, goalkeeper, you have to come out, but you have to be very careful because you don't want to you don't want to trip the player. If you trip the player, it's a red card and it's a penalty, especially if the player gets to the ball first. So there's nothing really better that the player can, the goalkeeper can do from goalkeeping perspective. I'm just looking at this goal from Vinicius Junior. You should never allow Vinicius Junior to have that kind of freedom in the box. That's criminal. Coca-Cola sponsoring the World Cup. We're going to be doing more live stream in this competition. Remember, we're going to be doing at least one game per day throughout the whole World Cup time. And after the World Cup, we're going to move to different games across the world. We're going to do the Premier League. We're going to do Serie A. We're going to do the French League. We'll do watch alongs. We'll do videos of different things, transfer news, and all of that. I still believe Brazil will win. I'm not going to lose hope on that. And I do want them to win. I do want them to win. I want Brazil to win. Hopefully, they don't disappoint me. We're still waiting for the start of the second half. Feels like it's too long. Well, it's just 15 minutes. Feels as if we've been waiting for 20 minutes. Feels like a long time. Let me know in the comment section who you support. Are you supporting Brazil or Morocco? I know lots of Africans as well supporting Brazil today. It's been an interesting World Cup so far. Well, this is just a start, so we can't really say too much, but so far, so good. So far, so good. So far, so good. It's been good. The World Cup has been good. Well, hopefully this one is better than the last one. I've certainly enjoyed the last one, but I hope this one is much better. And it taking 20 minutes this time, so it looks longer than that. Looks longer than that. I do think that Brazil has a very good squad. They have a very good squad in this competition. And have a crush it here. It's getting closer to the start of the second half. I can't wait. I don't think any of the coaches should make any changes for now. I would keep the team, both teams actually. I believe both coaches should just let the teams that play the first half play the second half, at least start the second half. I don't think there's any reasons to make a change yet. Unlike the game of what was the game? What was the game that I knew the strikers? Canada's game. When I was watching the Canada's game, I could tell straight away that the strikers needed to be changed because Onuache and Jonathan Davis were getting little bit of opportunities on goal, but they were not taking it. And I wasn't surprised when they brought in Larry and promised the goal came. But today, I don't think there should be any changes yet. No, not for any of both teams, any of the two teams. I think we're still doing okay, both of them. There's no really to make any changes for now. Both teams are still playing good. Well, I do believe as the game goes deeper into the second half, you're gonna have to make changes because players get tired and injuries happen, and you see some vulnerabilities in the opposition's tactics, and you want to exploit it. So you make the changes. But for now, I would keep the two teams the same. It's very difficult to be a coach. You know, when you're watching the game from your living room, from your couch, it's easy to tell the coach to do something. But when you get on the pitch and you're the one standing on the sidelines telling the players what to do, it's not easy, brother. I remember when I was coaching small children, it was not something easy. It's easier to tell the coach, through the TV or through your computer to make tactical changes. There's another thing for not tactical change. It's another thing for you to be the one standing on the sideline. It's not easy. Vinicius Jr. Wow. You know what just happened now? Because I'm watching through TSN and the screen I was watching before did not change. They kept playing the advertisement. And I didn't know the second half had started. No wonder it was what I was kind of surprised at why is it taking this long? Oh no, I don't like how this is structured. They got me glued to the advertisement. I never knew the game had started until I had to close that window. I checked through my phone, then I saw that they're in the 55th, 50 something minutes now. 55th minute. So that means I missed 10 minutes of the game. And I was on the screen that I was from the beginning of this game. But for some reason, they left me stuck on that screen. I don't think that's good if that comes from them. Well, anyway, we're back. 2-1-1, Brazil. And now see how Morocco wants to carry. That's a very risky game there. It's going to probably get a yellow card for that. But Morocco is trying to bait. They're trying to bait. This guy's a strong guy. You don't want to do that to him. Ego Thiago. Ego Thiago is a strong guy. You don't want to do that. No. It's too strong for you. The next time he plays that kind of game, he might not be so lucky. Ego Thiago probably gets the ball and shoots at the keeper. You don't play that kind of risky game in a World Cup game. I guess maybe he's too confident, too overconfident. That's what happens when you're too overconfident. Ryan Diaz, very good player, strong player too. But you can't. There's nothing Brahim Diaz could do with two players. You can't fight two players. It's impossible. Alisson, Marquinhos. That's a good play from Brazil. Rafinha, Sofia Amrabat. That's a good interception from you. I tell you what, it's a very strong player. Paquetá and Brahim Diaz. Mm. When Brahim Diaz missed the penalty against Senegal, and they have confiner, you probably he was probably devastated with that. Rafinha. Oh no, that's a good pass. Now Vinicius Jr. Brazil. Brazil is trying to put their foot on the ground in this game. Mexico is actually trying to overcrowd the midfield to make it difficult for Brazil to make any good use of the ball. As you can see, almost like 4 or 5 midfielders in the midfield anytime Brazil has the ball. And those players are basically they're not pressing high. They have like a mid block, which is good. And this coach is certainly a new coach. The former coach of Morocco, I remember that guy. I think he was with Morocco for a couple of years. I don't know why he was changed. That oh no. Thankfully, that probably would have been 1-on-1 on goal. That's a cool pass from the keeper. He was cool as a cucumber. Carlo Ancelotti is one of those coaches who has won the highest number of Premier of my favorite player of Champions League. My favorite player is coming in. Matthias Cunha. I think Lucas Paqueta is going out for Matthias Cunha. Hmm. Sort of see what Ancelotti is trying to do here. We know, and Igor Thiago as well is out. Then you have Luis Enrique for Brazil. I don't know why he took Igor Thiago out anyway. Ancelotti has his reason. But I think the reason why he changed, uh, he changed and brought in Matthias Cunha is he wants Cunha to be able to go forward a little bit, to be able to move forward a little bit. Because Cunha has the ability to be a box-to-box midfielder. And I think that's the reason why United bought him. He has the agility, the stamina to go up and down the pitch. He could play as a striker as well. And I wouldn't be surprised to see him playing as a striker. I'm still trying to figure out exactly his role in the team in this game. Keep trying to look for him. We have Fabinho. Fabinho has been substituted. Fabinho is in the game now. Fabinho. There's always sort of you have sort of like Fabinho came in for Casemiro. And then in the midfield of Brazil right now, you sort of have Fabinho and Bruno Guimaraes. And remembered, Fabinho sort of have a bloody mouth. Oh, that doesn't look pretty. It needs to go and get it fixed. He was probably telling the referee that it's good to continue, but no, you can't just do that. You have to get it fixed first. The most important thing, in as much as we love soccer, the most important thing is the health of the player. We want to make sure the players are in good health before anything else. And that's a good call by the referee to make sure that Fabinho gets the blood stopped first before the game continues. That's good. Now Morocco is making the substitution as well. It's interesting how those coaches are probably seeing the vulnerabilities in both the tactics of each other. They're trying to exploit it. You have Talbi, where you have Talbi has left the field. You have El Morabet coming in for Morocco. Brahim Diaz is coming out for Morocco. Lots of changes here. Maybe those coaches are trying to. Oh, okay. Yeah, you sort of see how part of me feels that, oh, that's a big cut. Sort of looks like a huge thing. That's Fabinho had the bleeding from his nose. Because I can see a big cutting board or something like that being placed in the nose to stop the bleeding. There's a fight between Enrique and Mazraoui, I think. Brazil advanced into the Cunha. This is what exactly I was expecting from Cunha. When Cunha has the ball, he has the strength and the ability and the stamina to drive the ball up the pitch. And that's exactly what he was trying to do there. Morocco. Morocco is sort of playing 5-4-1. Oh, that's a good cross from Rafinha. Oh, Enrique still was a good turn as well. Brazil in the box. Brazil still trying to unlock the defense of Morocco. Enrique. Enrique sort of playing as a left winger. That's a good cross. Oh my lord. Oh, oh no. Rafinha tried to make a contact with the ball, but couldn't. He couldn't make contact with the goal. This game has been interesting so far. Brazil certainly having the upper hands in this game, at least from what we can see. It's interesting now. We have a hydration break again because that's a good thing. We want the players to be well hydrated. That's good. Brazil certainly has had lots of corners in this game, but it's never made any good, you know, any good use of the corners. We're going to try and improve on these match statistics and how it's arranged. Please bear with me. I'm trying to learn as we go here. Having a break. I hope this is not what happened the other time. I wish I was locked up to one screen and this is probably what happened again. I'm going to have to refresh. Oh, okay. I don't need to this time. But what happened the last time was I was watching the game, expecting the second half to the game, and nothing happened. I was, saying, I was complaining that the break was taking too long, not knowing that the game had started. The screen did not change. So I had to go back and refresh before I realized that they were in the 55th minute. Morocco. Oh, that's a heavy touch. And Fabinho capitalizes on it. Konya can drive. There's a lot of pushing, a lot of physical games by this player here. Morocco is still trying to get back in shape. You can see the midfielders are coming to how progress the ball high up the pitch. Good pass. Hakimi. Oh no, that's a good turn. Morocco is pushing. They're trying to make something work for themselves here. It's a good ball. Oh no. Morocco certainly is not giving up. They're trying to make sure that they can get back on top, which is a good and positive sign. Nobody's trying to sit back and say, hey, I'm satisfied with what I got. Everybody's trying to push for a winning goal, which is great. That's what we want to see. Gabriel. Cognac. That was intercepted, and now Morocco has a chance. Oh no, what happened there? Gabriel. Is Gabriel sleeping? How would you let that ball go like that? If not because the Moroccan player oh, was now, you know, was not well stationed where he was. It wasn't balanced. That could have been a problem for the Brazilian defense to sort out. Unfortunately for them, that was not the case. The player was now balanced on the ground. Rafinha sort of playing like a striker now. You have the front three of Vinicius Jr., Rafinha, and Enrique. High speed. Has made a name for himself. Was Hakimi. Brazil. Brazil is probably not impressed with the possession game that Morocco is playing. They just want to get the ball off them. They just want to score a goal. But they can't be too relaxed either because they make a ball in the box. If they relax too much, Morocco could score. And that is stage of the game. That would be devastating. And this kind of minute of the game, you don't want any team to score a goal. So that could be the end of the game. Now, this stage of the game, you want to make sure that you do everything safe. You can't be too complacent. You have to be safe. Safety first. Even though it's the first game, you still have to be safe. Every game matters. Players can't say that because it's the first game, they still have a chance, to make mistakes and get away with it. No, you don't have too much chance. 74th minute, Brazil won, Morocco won. I've been suddenly happy with this game. What I was expecting from both teams were not what they did. I thought both teams were going to sit back and try and play on a counter attack, but that was wrong. Both teams are actually trying to score. You're trying to win the game, which is what we want. When you pay for a game like this, you want the worth for your bucks, for your money. I think we got it right here. We're certainly getting it. Vinicius Jr. Now he has two players trying to get the ball of him. You know why? Because Morocco now knows that this is the danger man. You can't give him that kind of space again. They'll punish you if you do that. And certainly that's what happened. Morocco and Brazil. You have Saibari at the 21st minute, and then you have Vinicius Jr. at the 32nd minute. Gabriel. Morocco is trying to unlock the Brazilian midfield now. As for we, 3-4-3 from Morocco. Then you have Brazil playing with 5-3-2 now. Brazil is playing with five at the back. Certainly now, because sometimes Fabinho drops into the middle of the two center backs, making it five players at the back. Against Brazil, you can trust Carlo Ancelotti. Now, he's never going to be the coach that his team concedes at the end of the game. Morocco, that was a good cross into the box. Morocco is trying to pull the pressure on Brazil. They're trying to. Brazil is certainly sitting back, but Morocco is not impressed with that tactics. They want Brazil to come out so they can play on the shoulders of the Brazilian defense. But Brazil is not taking the bait either. Cunha gets the ball. That's a good pass from Cunha. Vinicius Jr. True. He's in the box now. Vinicius Jr. Rafinha. Oh, my word. Oh, that's exactly what Brazil can do. Brazil can get the ball from back to front in splits of a second. That's exactly what happened. If Vinicius Jr. had taken his time to take on the defender, that could have been a goal. But he played the pass to Rafinha. one-time pass, and Rafinha couldn't make good use of the ball. It was a shot on target, but it was not a shot that got the keeper impressed. I was not impressed either. It was a weak shot. It was a weak attempt at goal. Now you have Brazil trying to get more players in, and you have Morocco as well, trying to get more players in the game. Hydration break, I think. They're drinking water again. I think it's important for them to keep drinking water because obviously the weather is so warm in America this summer. As it has always been. We're not in summer yet, actually. We're still in spring. But it feels as if we're in the summer when you're running your AC 24/7. Then your gas bill goes up. Incredible. But it's good for the players to drink water, keep them hydrated. You have players coming out. Masraoui is coming out for Morocco. Two players. Probably those are the last changes that Morocco will make. I guess they've run out of the amount of substitutions they could make. The game is now over until it is over. It is not over until it is over. You never joke with the game. Please like and subscribe if you're not watching now, but you come across this live stream after. Please like and subscribe. It's going to help us. We're trying to build a community where we can love soccer. Every community starts from somewhere. We're starting. Help us. We don't just want to make this community a soccer community. We want to make a community where people can come and distress and take away the stress from their lives as well. That's what we want to build here. We want to build a family. We want to be a good relationship here. Good vibes. Exactly. That's the plan. Help us. You have lots of changes here. As we have gone out, you have a couple of players coming in as well. You have Gabriel. You have Bruno Guimaraes coming out as well. And you have Danilo Santos. Danilo Santos coming in. Extraordinary players. Guimaraes. I think he's going to leave Newcastle this time. I do hope that he goes to a big club. Sorry, Toons fan. How are they, the lads? I'm sorry. I'm just making fun of Newcastle fans today. I'm sorry. I'm not really sorry. I'm just being straightforward with you. There's always an enmity between Manchester United fans and almost every other club in the Premier League. Nobody likes us, I think, because we beat lots of them for so many years, and they've never really recovered from that. And now we have a good coach, Carrick, who's going to keep the good work that Alex Ferguson has been doing, has stopped doing many years ago. And now Brazil has lost the ball. There's an opportunity for Morocco. Morocco advancing into the box. This could be a good cross. Blocked. Right. Morocco is trying to move the ball left and right, the side of the pitch, looking for space. That's a good foot touch. Oh no, and Brazil. And Brazil is going. Rafinha. Can he do it? Can Rafinha do it? Oh, it's been a push there. Santos. Cunha. Cunha is going to go. You can't let him be. That's a good con. When Cunha has the ball, you can't let him be. He's going to drive with the ball. And that's exactly what Cunha was going to do. When Cunha has the ball close to the 35 yard box, you can't let him have the ball there. If he has the ball in those kinds of places, you're in trouble. That's Cunha, a good player. He came from Wolverhampton Wanderers in the Premier League. And unfortunately, it looks like Wolverhampton Wanderers have relegated to the Premiership. Well, they lost so much players, and it's possible for you to give them to. Oh no, Rafinha! Oh my word! Oh my word! That was so close. Oh, that was a mistake from Isa. Isa, the Moroccan player. Oh my word! Oh, that was a heavy touch from him. Oof. Oh, the Bono, Bono, the keeper of Morocco, just got there a little bit ahead of Rafinha. That would have been a very costly and costly goal for Morocco. Yeah, you don't want to do that. And now the keeper is on the ground. It's probably, I wouldn't say injured, but he has discomfort, and he's on the ground. There was certainly contact between both players because Rafinha was coming in full speed. Bono too was coming in full speed. But you would have expected that Bono, being a much bigger player than Rafinha, that Bono would probably have put Rafinha on the ground. But that's exactly not what happened. In fact, it was the opposite. Yeah. And Bono is still on the ground. It's been an interesting game so far. A few minutes to the end of the game. Bono is on his feet. Zinedine Zidane. The, the Real Madrid legend. Soccer legend. He's one of the best players of soccer that has ever lived. And there's a throw in now for Brazil. Still 1-1. Brazil has another opportunity for them to progress the ball high up the pitch. That's Cunha. This Moroccan player is actually a very good player. Very strong. Morocco needs to be very careful with their pressing. Because if Brazil is able to bypass this press, it could be in serious problems. Fabinho. Vinicius Jr. That's a good interception from Fabinho, but he lost the ball again. The game actually has been a little bit more physical in these past few minutes. Morocco was the first to start pressing aggressively, and now Brazil is pressing aggressively too. And we're in the 86th minute of the game. This is a good sign. Nobody is getting ready to go to bed. Oh, that was close. Enrique almost got the ball from the Moroccan player because of heavy touch. There are chances this game is going to be a tie, but you never know. And now Morocco is in the second half of the pitch in the Brazilian territory. Isa. I was intercepted. I haven't seen El Nasri, the Moroccan player, who is good with his head. I haven't seen him in this competition yet. That was a good goal from Morocco, the first half. The coach is encouraging his players to uh, probably to attack and be more productive going forward. That's a good sign of a good coach. A coach who is not satisfied with the tie. The coach who is not satisfied. As the coach, I weak one. There's been a tussle, there's been explosive interactions between the players on the bench and the officials. It's certainly not something you want to see in the beautiful game of soccer. If you're not on the pitch, Brazil has a chance. Oh no, that's a cutback. Oh Brazil! Oh my word! This. Oh, we can't trust the ball. Vinicius Junior. Now Morocco could be going forward. Oh no, he was too slow. This game has been back and forth on the past few minutes. For the whole game actually. Fabinho. But now you have 10 minutes of added time. Brazil still probing. Vinicius Junior against Hakimi. Hakimi was up to the task. And it's in corner. I was expecting that because Hakimi is one of those players who is going to give you a good chance. I was not disappointed with that. The corner kick to Brazil. Matheus Cunha is going to take the corner. He's taking his time. A chance for Brazil. Another chance for Matheus Cunha to send the ball. It decides to drive. With interception. Another corner. Enrique. That's a good ball. Oh, that was weak from Rafinha. Brazil is certainly doing everything possible to score. Now Morocco has the chance. But Brazilian players are rushing back to protect their defense and their keeper from any sort of trouble that Morocco might want to give. It's a cross in the box. All intercepted. Now it's the time for Morocco to probe the Brazilian defense. The Brazilians are still standing strong. They're not ready to. That's that's a chance for Brazil for Morocco, but Gabriel was up to the task. It's a corner kick to Morocco. It's a cross. Oh, that's the poor cross. It's a trolley now for Morocco. Oh, Matthias Cunha. Oh, there was too much players on him. So there was nothing much he could do. The ball was taken away from him. The ball was intercepted again. Again, it was intercepted by the Moroccan player again. Lots of heavy touches in this game. 1 minute, you think the Brazilians are going to attack. The second minute, you know, it's someone on the floor again. Fabinho was a culprit. It's set pieces here. There's a chance. Oh, that's too weak. You have 3 minutes to the end of the game here. Who is going to take advantage of the time left? Well, and now Rafinha is trying to put the keeper of Morocco on his toes. Who could do it? This is the last few minutes of the game. Anything could happen. We're certainly not going to bed yet. Soccer is just like the game of boxing. You never know. You could get knocked out in the 11th round. You could go to bed in the 11th round. That was a good shot by a Moroccan player. Allison was up to the task. Allison was particularly impressive with the second save. The first save was good. The second save was wonderful. Well, I would now Morocco has the chance from the corner kick. This is probably the last chance for Morocco. Can they make good use of it? We'll see. Obviously, there's lots of tussles in the box. Oh no, that was a poor cross from Akimi. Well, Morocco has another chance to make it count. No, they're throwing the kitchen and sink to Brazil now. And the ball is back to the keeper. 20 seconds to the end of the game. We can say now that the game is going to end at a tie. Probably both of them are settling for that score line now. You have 5 seconds to the end of the game. You don't want to take any risk. That was a risk, though. And it's the end of the game. 1-1 by Carlo Ancelotti's Brazil and Morocco. It was certainly an interesting game. I was expecting a little bit more from Brazil. I was confident that Brazil was going to win. Uh, that's not what happened. But from the game, we can see that Brazil was, both of them was on the front foot, which was against what I thought was going to happen. Both of them was trying to win. And that is good. Nobody was trying to sit back and, everybody was trying to win. Which is good. It's the kind of mindset that we want to see. So tomorrow, we're going to be doing tomorrow's game. I want to quickly tell you the game we'll be doing tomorrow, so that you can know the time that we'll be here tomorrow. It was a good game. I hope you enjoyed your time. I certainly enjoyed it. It was good. And I hope that I will see you tomorrow. So the game we'll be doing tomorrow is Netherlands versus Japan. Netherlands versus Japan. That's the game we'll watch tomorrow. Thank you very much. Please, even if I know you're probably not live here, but if you come across this video later, try and help us promote this video. Like and subscribe. Be a member of this channel. We'd love to have you here. We want to create a community where we can have a good time enjoying the game of soccer. Thank you very much. I'll see you